In this video, we derive steady flow energy equations for a heat exchanger. First we understand what is the functions of heat exchanger. Then after we derive the steady flow energy equation for a three type of the heat exchanger. First one we derive for the condenser, then after evaporators, and third for the automobile radiators. So from the word heat exchangers, you understand that they are exchanging the heat, and when we need to exchange, we are required two fluids. Okay. So what is the functions? It is a device in which transfer a heat from one fluid to another fluids. Okay, so we already know that exchanging the mobiles means we sell the old mobiles and buy the new mobiles. That is called as the mobile exchange. Okay, so same way that is a heat exchanger, and we need to exchange, we require two fluids. Okay, so one fluid is hot, another fluid is cold. Okay, so hot fluid is supplied this heat energy to the cold fluid. It is called as the heat exchangers. Heat exchanger under a steady state operations, the mass flow rate of each fluid streams flowing through the heat exchanger remains constant. Each fluid stream means one stream is called as the hot stream and second one is called as the cold streams. Okay, now in this image you see that here the red arrow is indicated. Okay, red arrow means here the hot fluid is enter inside the pipe, and here you see blue arrow. That blue means it is the cold. So cold fluid is supplied to the outside the tube, means on a cell side. Okay, so fluid stream means one stream is hot fluid stream and second one is the cold fluid stream. Flowing through a heat exchangers remains constant, means mass of the both the fluid is remains constant. They are not changed with the time because we are deriving the equation for the steady flow energy equation. The condenser, evaporators and radiator are examples of the heat exchanger. So we derive these three equations. First we derive from condenser, evaporator and radiators. So all these are the types of the heat exchangers. Okay, but its type have the different name. Condenser means the name is given from the condensations. Okay, so in a condensation process, you know that the vapor is converted into the liquid. It is called as the condensation process. Okay, in evaporators, so it is name is given from the evaporation, means inside the evaporators the liquid is converted into the vapor. It is called as the evaporation process. Okay, so name is given according to that. So first we derive from the condensers. So what is the functions of condenser? Condenser is a device used to condense the steam by rejecting the heat from a steam to cooling medium. Cooling medium means to the cooling water. Okay, so I already explained what is the meaning of the condenser. So its name is given because of the condensation process. So inside the heat exchanger, condensation is going on, then it is called as the condenser. Okay, and what is the meaning of condensation? The vapor or a steam is converted into the liquid. Okay, how the steam is converted into the liquid? So we already know when the steam is rejecting the heat to the atmosphere or some another fluid, at that time they start to convert into the liquid. Okay, so steam is converted into a liquid. It is called as the condensation process and it is called as the condensers. The steam reject the heat to the cooling water which is passing through the tube as shown in this figure, and we know the steady flow energy equation. Now here you see that is the heat exchangers. Okay, so here you see the cooling water is in, and the what amount of the cooling water is in, they are passed inside the tubes. Okay, so here you see this is the four various tubes. Okay, but it is on the front view you see this four tube, but there is a number of tube is there. Okay, in a side view this cylinder is completely the circular sections. Okay, in a circular section completely tube is provided. Okay, and here you see that is the steam is in on a cell side. Okay, so it is not inside the tube but it is in cell, and here it is the steam is outlets. Okay, now we know that the generalized steady flow energy equations, that is m in bracket h1 plus c1 square by 2 plus z1g bracket over plus q is equal to m in bracket h2 plus c2 square by 2 plus z2g plus w. Now for the condensers, we consider the few parameters. Change in potential energy is 0, means z1 and z2 is 0, so this step is cancelled. Change in kinetic energy is 0, means change in the velocity is negligible, so we consider the c1 is equal to c2, this step is also cancelled. Third, w is equal to 0 means no shaft work. Here you see in a heat exchanger there is a no shaft work. Okay, but according to name, that is a heat is exchanged, means q does not equal to 0. We have find out the q. Okay, now this criteria is applied to the two things. Okay, one for the steam and second one for the cooling waters. Okay, so steam heat exchanger rate is different, cooling water heat exchanger rate is different. Okay, so first we apply this steady flow energy equation for a steam. Okay, so remaining part on the left side is that for a steam, instance of m, we return the ms, okay, into h1. C1 is 0, Z1 is 0, okay, so only remaining is the Q, so ms h1 plus Q. On the right side, C2 is 0, Z2 is 0, work done is 0, so only remaining part is the ms h2. And ms means mass flow rate of the steam. Now when we find out for the water, so we are considered as the MW, okay. So M means mass, S means steam, and when we use the W instance of S, it means the water. Now we find out the Q, so we supply ms h1 to the right side, okay, and then take the ms common, so ms in bracket h2 minus h1. Hence, here h1 is greater than h2. H1 is greater than H2. How we say that H1 is greater than H2? Because here the steams and its temperature is reduced and H2 is the lower. Okay, that means H1 is the higher. Okay, and so H1 is the higher, then whatever answer is come in the negative. Okay, so Q is negative because the steam is reject the heat of the cooling water. That we already know, when we reject the heat, it is come in the negative value because heat rejection is considered as the negative. That we already study in a sign conventions of the heat and work. For the cooling water, same way we applied these equations. Okay, so here you see for the water they indicate 1 dash and 2 dash. Okay, so instance of 1, here we use the 1 dash, and MW means mass of the water, plus Q is equal to MW H2 dash. MW is indicate mass flow rate of the water, means this same condition is used for the water. Okay, and same equation is remaining for the steam. Here just ms is used, here we use the MW, and instance of the H1 dash, and instance of the H2 dash is used. Same way we find out the Q. Okay, this MW H1 dash is supplied on the right sides, and we take the MW common, so remaining part is the MW in bracket H2 dash minus H1 dash. Now here H2 dash is greater than H1 dash. Why? Because this cooling water is absorb the heat from the steam, means its temperature is increased at the outlet, and its temperature is increased, enthalpy is increased. So H2 dash is higher than the H1 dash. Okay. So H2 dash is higher, then we solve these equations, then we get the positive answer. Okay, and positive answer means they are absorb the heat. So Q is positive because cooling water absorbing heat from a steams. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe my channels for watching the more video related to the engineering thermodynamics and another subject of the mechanical engineering. For the more video of engineering thermodynamics, link is provided in descriptions, or link is also provided in a card. Card means on top right screen of your mobile or laptop you see the I symbols. And for other subject I request to visit the playlist. Now I again use the same term, okay, that what we derives for the steams and for the cooling waters. Now if the system is thermally insulated, okay, means this system is completely thermally insulated, then there is a no heat interaction between system and surrounding, means this hot and cold fluid is not supplying the heat energy to the atmospheres. Hence, according to the energy balance, heat lost by the steam is equal to heat gained by the cooling water, means what amount of the heat lost by the steam is totally absorbed by the cooling waters, because we consider that the heat exchanger is completely insulated. But suppose heat exchanger are not completely insulated, then some amount of the heat energy is rejected to the atmosphere. But what we consider, it is thermally insulated. So heat lost by the steam is equal to heat gained by the cooling waters. Now we already know what is the amount of the heat lost by the steam. So this is the equations. That is the ms in bracket H2 minus H1 is equal to heat gained by the cooling water, that is the MW H2 dash minus H1 dash. Okay, now next for the evaporators, we already know what is the meaning of evaporators. In a heat exchangers, evaporation process is done, then it is called as the evaporator. Evaporation process means liquid is start to convert into the vapor or a steam. So evaporator is used to extract the heat from the space. Space means room, to be cool at the low temperature in the refrigeration system. So at our home we see that is a freeze is used and AC is used. Okay, so freeze is known as the refrigeration system. Okay, so how our freezes give the cooling waters, cold fluids, cold milk? Okay, because inside the freeze they provide the evaporators, and this evaporator is absorb the heat, means inside the evaporator there is a one gas is there. Okay, the gas state is the liquid at the entry, and then after they absorb the heat from the different vegetables and fruits and milk and water. Okay, so this liquid enter in a evaporator is start to convert into the vapor. okay, because they absorb the heat and our space is cool, okay, milk is cool and whatever the substance we putting inside the fridge they cools. And AC same way, that is a evaporator inside the AC, they absorb this heat from our room and our room is cool, okay, so it is called as the evaporators. And in a freeze and AC, that also condenser is used. The condenser is put in a outside, okay, in a air conditioning system, condenser is the putting outside. So when we go in the outdoor unit of the AC, you feeling that is the higher temperatures because they are rejecting the heat. Same way in our freeze, on a backside the condenser is provided, okay, in a older freeze you see that is a different tube is provided, it is the condenser. But now in a new freeze, the condenser is provided on the left sides, okay, so if you touch the left side of the freeze, you feeling that is a hot temperature because that is a condenser is there, okay. The refrigerant liquid enters the evaporator as shown in this figure, and which absorb the latent heat from the space to be cooled, and it is converted into the vapor. Now here you see, this is the one tubes, this tube is called as the evaporators, okay. Here the refrigerant liquid is enter and here you see refrigerant is vapor outer, okay. So this liquid is converted into the vapor, it is called as the evaporations, and this process is done on a certain device. This device is called as the evaporator, okay. And here you see there is a space to be cooled. Suppose we consider the AC, then it is put in our room, okay. Suppose in a refrigerator means in a freeze, that is a provided on inside the freeze, okay. Or this evaporator is also called as the cooling coils. Now we know that steady flow energy equations, so these are the basic steady flow energy equations, and we consider certain parameter for the evaporator, that is a change in potential energy is 0, means Z1 is equal to Z2. Change in kinetic energy is 0, means C1 is equal to C2. Work done is equal to 0, means there is a no shaft work, okay, means no work interactions. So W is equal to 0. Now we putting this parameter in this steady flow energy equation, okay. So the only remaining is the MH1. This C1, C2 is 0, so this step is cancelled. Z1 and Z2 is 0, then this step is cancelled. So only remaining is the MH1 plus Q is equal to, on the right side there is the MH2, okay. Another parameter is 0. Now what amount of the heat is rejected, then we supply this MH1 on the right sides, okay. Then what is the equation? Q is equal to MH2 minus MH1, okay. And we take the M common and remaining part is the H2 minus H1, where M is the mass flow rate of the refrigerant. Means what M is indicate? M is, here you see that refrigerant liquid is in. So this is indicate the what amount of the mass of the refrigerant, it is denoted as the M. Now third one is the automobile radiators. Automobile radiator means generally in our 4 vehicles, okay, the one heat exchanger is provided to cool the engines, okay. So in a 4-wheel you see that in a front part of the car one cabin is there, okay, bonnet, and in a bonnet that in about the number plate you see that certain open space is provided. So air from this space is supplied to the radiators, and this air is absorb the heat from the water and they reject to the atmospheres, okay. So here you see this is the image of the radiators, okay. This hot water from the engine jacket. Now what is the engine jacket? So in our car they produce the power by using the engine, okay. Inside the engine we supply the petrol, diesel, CNG, we are depending on the car, okay. So due to these combustions of the fuel, that is a heat energy is produced, okay, and this heat energy is absorbed by the water, means surrounding of this cylinder, surrounding of the engine, the water jacket is provided. This water is absorbed the heat. Suppose we are not doing the cooling of the engine, then the piston is stuck with the cylinders, okay. That's why the cooling is required, and this cooling is done by using the hot water, and we need to cooling this hot water, okay, otherwise the engine is not rejecting heat. So this hot water is come from the engine jacket, is enter in this radiator. So this is the radiators, okay, and in a radiator there is a number of tubes is there, okay, and outside these tubes the atmosphere air is passed, okay. So our car is running with this high speed, okay. So this air with the high velocity is passed from this radiator, and this air is absorbed the heat, and the temperature of this hot water is reduced. So this cold water from the engine, cold water from the radiator is again supplied it to the engine jackets, and this atmosphere air it out with this high temperature. So this is the basic functions of the radiators. So radiator in automobile provides the cold cooling water to the engine and maintain the low temperatures of the engine components. So in a radiator, water coming from the engine jacket cooled by the atmospheric air as shown in this figure that we already discussed. This is hot water coming from the engine jacket. It's come in a contact with the atmospheric air, and this hot water is temperature is reduced, it's converted into the coal and then again supplied it to the engine. So we know that the steady flow energy equation. So this is the basic steady flow energy equations. We consider certain parameters for the radiator. Change in potential energy is 0, Z1 is equal to Z2. Change in kinetic energy is 0, C1 is equal to C2. Work done is equal to 0, no shaft work in a heat exchangers. And Q is equal to negative Q because the heat lost by the water. So when the temperature is lost, that is a heat rejection is done. Means this water is reject the heat to the atmosphere, and we know that when any systems is rejecting the heat, it is considered as the negatives. Hence, we putting this value in this above equation. So on a left side, only parameter is remain MH1 plus Q, and we consider this plus Q instance, that is a negative Q here. So we putting the negative Q, and only right side, that is a MH2. So Q is equal to MH1 minus H2. How we convert? We supply this negative Q on the right side, so it is coming at Q, and this MH2 is supplied on the left side, so it is converted MH1 minus MH2. We take the M common, then in bracket H1 minus H2, and then further we simplify this equation. We know that the change in enthalpy is written as the Cp into change in the temperatures. So Q is equal to mCp T1 minus T2. So here we end our theory. So thank you for watching this video. If you learn something, then like the video, subscribe the channels, and don't forget to share with your friend.